Where were you drafted, or did you enlist?
I enlisted.
And where were you living at the time when you enlisted?
San Francisco.
Okay. And how old were you when you enlisted?
18.
Do you remember your first day in the service? And if you do, could you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. They put us on a train in San Francisco, and we spent all day heading for boot camp in San Diego. And the big awakening was when we got off the train and put on a bus and driven to the recruit depot. That's when all hell broke loose. They started calling us names, calling us garbage, and then they took us to our barracks, shaved our heads, and for 3 months they just raised hell with us. That was boot camp. And at the end of boot camp, the Korean War broke out. So we had 10 days at home, and then off to Japan, and then to Korea.
Okay. Would you be able to tell us about like a normal day in boot camp? Like the things you would do from the morning till you go to sleep at night?
The best I could recall would be our drill instructor would blow a whistle. That means everyone's out of bed, into the bathroom, shave, come out, get a formation, and be checked for a clean shave. Anybody who didn't have a clean shave got poked in the eyes. And we're given 1 week of shaving without shaving cream. So they were dry shaving, which was pretty brutal, pretty bloody.
Huh. That's interesting.
And then they would march us to the mess hall. We would eat by the numbers. You stand at attention at the table. They go 1, you sit down. 2, you put your hands on the table. 3, you eat. 3 minutes. Then you get up, you file out of the mess hall, and you go to school, or you march.
Remember your first impression when you went to Korea?
I'm pretty young, so I didn't know what to expect. And when we landed in North Korea, we landed on a landing craft. We hit the beach, and the first thing I saw was a big line of prisoners, North Korean prisoners, being marched across this big field. They had South Korean guards on each side of them, and every few minutes you would hear a pop, and you'd see a body fly up in the air. And the reason they have this movement going across the field was they didn't have the map of the minefield, and they wouldn't give them the map. So they took the prisoners and they swept the area, and I watched about 6 or 8 bodies pop up in the air, blown to bits. That was my first sight of the war.
When you landed in North Korea, where did you go exactly? Did you go to like a certain town, or did you stay in like?
We were at an airstrip in Wonsan, North Korea.
All right. What was your job there in North Korea?
I was a construction draftsman, airfield.
So you would like help build planes and stuff?
No, airstrips.
Oh, airstrips, alright. Did you ever see the combat that would happen?
Well, What we did was, the 1st Marine Division, which is in Camp Pendleton,
Yeah.
they were over there and they made the initial landing invasion. And as they moved up, we would follow them
Okay.
and build an airstrip. And as they moved the enemy, we moved with them
Okay.
and gave them air support.
Okay.
Okay.
See, anything that looked, every airstrip up there was dirt.
Yeah.
And what we would do is map out the airstrip and put a little rebutments areas for the fighter planes.
Yeah.
The water tanks, the bomb dump, the fuel dump, and the rocket dump, and the napalm dump. We'd sort of build a in-the-field airbase, but it was all movable. So whenever the 1st Division would move, we'd be behind them, giving them close air support.
What was your most memorable experience?
Well, I initially told you about the people going over the minefield, getting blown up. But being up at the Chosin Reservoir when the Marines were trapped and it was snowing, and the big battleship Wisconsin's in the harbor that lobbed 35,000 rounds at the Chinese when they were coming in to surround the Marines at the reservoir. And we were at the air base there. The air base was a North Korean airport. And we had to blow it up, and we had to do it real fast, so it was pretty chaotic. We had to roll big 55-gallon drums of fuel into the barracks. We had a big bulldozer that dug a big giant hole, and we filled the hole up with rockets and bombs and everything that we could get. So we didn't leave the Chinese anything. And then we blew it up, got on a LST, and went all the way down to the base of Korea and started all over again. That's what I remember vividly.
How did you communicate with your friends and family?
Oh, with letters, writing letters, and they'd fly them to Japan and send them home. No problem.
What was the food like?
Terrible. It was all canned food. Canned eggs, powdered eggs, bully beef in cans. I don't remember anything that tasted really good.
When did your service end?
1954.
Did you make any close friends in the service?
Quite a few.
Do you still talk to them today?
I do. See, I was in Korea for 2 years, and then at El Toro, down here for 2 years. I lived in Laguna, and I commuted to work every day.
Did you earn any medals?
I did.
What were they?
Good conduct, and a letter of condemnation. And I was in 7 battles, in the vicinity of 7 battles.